That's Emily. She doesn't know what's going on. We're not hiking it, we're rafting it. For 25 days, that's why I have a raft on the back of our van. Do you need something? Here's a light. Theoretically, all of this gear is gonna be able to fit onto a couple rafts, and then we're gonna put that gear and ourselves onto those rafts and then float down the canyon and onto some stuff over the course of 25 days. No phones, no internet, no anything.
How does this happen? We were so close to getting there.
Connor's one of the 9 people I'd be traveling down the Grand Canyon with. So it was a little concerning when he got his car stuck in the middle of the highway.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I tried to turn us around here and now I'm blocking the traffic.
All of the traffic.
Well, we missed Lee's Ferry. We drove the wrong way, so we had to turn around, but if you look in that direction, there's nothing.
How much space do I have?
After Emily's smooth 19-point turn, we ended up at the Colorado River, where we met up with John, Vicky, Jeff, Franz, Kathy, and David, who were all brought together by John's permit and the allure of a grand adventure. Day 1, about to get on a raft for the first time, and I have no idea what's going on. But I've got video equipment, I've got, what do I have? Video equipment, Polaroids, sketchbooks. I wrote down a whole bunch of questions, because it's like, I will make a film about rafting down the Grand Canyon, and I will capture it, and it will be interesting. But to be honest, I do not even know how to capture something like this. I mean, it's huge. And I don't even know if like a video can capture this. And I should probably go help some people so we can get going before the sun goes down. We did not exactly get going before dark. By the next day, we were on the river by the crack of noon, slowly watching Lee's Ferry disappear as we rounded the first corner. After spending so much time thinking about this river, it felt odd to actually be on it. And the rafting didn't seem that scary either. Emily gave me the oars, and now we're gonna go down some white water. Is this white water?
It's white.
We're going
It's
down
water.
water that is white. So I want to avoid that, right?
I'd say go through it.
You're actually big! What do I do?
You're doing great.
Feeling like an expert rafter now, we continued to drift deeper into the canyon, passing underneath the cars as they drove over Navajo Bridge. The next time we would see a road would be 270 miles downstream at the takeout, but that felt like years from now.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I am not a happy camper right now, and I can't even explain why I'm not a happy camper because the Colorado River just took my camera. Anyway, giant rapid. I messed up. Yeah, I made a stupid mistake. I pinned us, and then we high-sided, and then there's a ton of water, and I wasn't even wearing a dry suit because it's supposed to be an easy day, and now I'm cold, and I'm wet, and I'm one camera down, and I lost all the pictures, and I'm angry and I'm hungry and my feet are cold and I have to set up a tent and I can't even be that pissed off because I'm somewhere pretty, but I really just want to be home, or like somewhere where there's warm, dry stuff I can put my feet on. I came into this thinking I was going to be able to easily capture some great footage and leave feeling like I understood the whole river. But as I wrung the water out, the worry of what lay downstream began to creep in. I was dry by the next morning, but the nerves were still there. So I rode with one of the most experienced members of the group, Franz.
I think either come to the canyon and you get the bug, or you don't. I don't know if there's an in-between.
This is Franz. He's a retired math professor and can't actually count the amount of times he's been down this river. His best guess is something like 40. He's gone down this river on almost everything that can float, and with that, he's had just about every mishap imaginable. Once, he even had to chase down his own boat as it floated downriver, on fire. Yet, he never seems worried about what's coming up.
I know, what camps are good, what camps are cruddy, where there's good winter sun, where the best hiking is in the winter and summer. But almost every trip I go someplace new.
While I was busy agonizing about the next big rapid, he was always pointing out these amazing things hidden around us that, for some reason, I had missed.
You see? Straight across. To the, right there. There's a deer over there. Yeah, and so a lot of people, when they come down on a trip, they try to do everything. They try to see all the highlights, and you really can't in one trip, because you can hike all day and still feel like you haven't covered any distance.
This canyon was just like life itself. If you'd narrowed your focus to the obstacles downstream, you're gonna miss all that beauty around you.
This is our only rapid, other than President Harding. And President Harding's not so much of a rapid as a rock to avoid.
So if President Harding, that rapid that gave me so much trouble, was just a 4-foot drop, how big did these things get?
So, looking back upstream, it certainly doesn't look like it dropped very much there. So Lava Falls, for instance, which is the most famous, I think it drops about 30 feet. So virtually all the rapids you can cheat. You can take kind of an easy route. And lava is one of the few that there is no cheat. So it can flip, I'd say it can flip any boat.
It was formed long ago when lava poured into this canyon from a nearby volcano. The lava flow dammed up the river completely, but over thousands and thousands of years, the river wore down the lava dam until eventually it collapsed, leaving nothing but basalt-covered walls and one angry-looking rapid.
It's munchy today. I would say we have a 50-50 chance of having a flip. Even if we boat well, do things right.
What happens if you're in the water in this stuff? What do you do with that?
You mean if you get tossed into the drink?
Yeah. So far, only one person from our group had been tossed into the drink. It happened on Crystal, the other class 10. Right at its center is this hydraulic washing machine called a keeper hole. Almost all of the boats were safely by when Emily and her cataract got pushed just a little too close. These rapids don't seem quite as big as they are until you see one of them kick around a fully loaded raft like a rubber duck. Emily and her boat were quickly swept downstream, but our trip leader, John, was able to catch up and tow her into an eddy, where several of the crew grabbed the flip lines and were able to get the boat right side up. All in all, nothing was really lost in time and dryness, but it was a really good reminder of just how quickly these things could change.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and change into my dry suit.
Franz wearing a dry suit was kind of like a polar bear putting on a down jacket. You knew something serious was coming. But at this point, the only thing you could really do was hang on.
See you on the flip side. Get it? Because flipping.
And try to enjoy the ride. Back upstream, David is having a little bit of trouble, and soon we can see him drifting down on the bottom of his boat. I prepare one of the throw lines, get ready to toss, and turns out I need to work on that. We continue to chase David downstream where Jeff has a hold of him, but is having some trouble pulling him into an eddy.
I'm not gonna get this eddy. We're gonna try for the next one.
While Franz mans the dory, I jump on board the overturned boat to try to help David flip it. Our effort is going just about as well as my throw did. So Franz jumps on board, leaving his boat to drift.
Get it? Get up here.
The water is icy cold. And so as David climbs back on his raft, Franz and I quickly swim toward the empty dory. And it's at this moment that my last camera stops working. From there on out, I could only capture the canyon with my eyes, my sketchbook, and a microphone, which eventually I would also break when I accidentally sat on it. Our last few days on the river passed really quickly, and before I knew it, we were at the last rapid on the Grand Canyon, called Separation. This used to be the most feared rapid in the canyon, but the water levels from Lake Powell had reduced it to a riffle, which we glided through easily. Ironically, it was below Separation that we brought our boats together to form a giant floating amoeba with the dory in the center. With nothing but flat water left, we were banding our boats together for a night float. The size of our flotilla would keep us out of the eddies and away from the canyon walls. This way, we could just float all night long and wake up at the takeout. We hopped aboard our new mega boat and burrowed down in our sleeping bags to watch the sky fade from orange to red. It was quiet. And then, to my surprise, as I was recording the sound of water with my soon-to-be smushed mic, Franz stands up in his dory and begins to sing some old sea shanty, which echoed off the canyon walls.
Oh, well said there at Pry the town, how I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. For 20 brave men, all fishermen, who would make for him the Antelope's crew, God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold, we'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers.
The bouncing verses followed us down the river as we floated into our last night on the Colorado. The night float was indescribably beautiful. And right then, I wished that I had a camera so that I could capture this, and not one that was buried deep in the silt upstream. But what difference would that have made? I mean, could a photo really capture this place? It kind of felt like nothing could. No camera, no sketchbook, no film, no words, not even my own eyes. And looking back, it was easy to see I hadn't captured the Grand Canyon, but it had certainly captured me.
Fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on the Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. The Yankee lay low down with gold, how I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. She was broad and fat and loose and stays, but the catcher took the antelope 2 whole days, God damn them all. Oh shit, I forgot a verse. We cruise the sea for American gold, we'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on the Halifax pier, the vast of Barrett's privateers.